Hmm. Morning. We have a pretty interesting day today, actually. There's a setup I like on GU. Kind of similar setup to what we had yesterday, but I just want to show it. Like, that's it. Like, let's break down a bit. So, on the 4 hour, we clearly have a 4 hour AVG here, which I'm kind of expected to stay respected, right? Because we're just bearish. For me, drone liquidity should be towards this, reaching this consolidation. This is a high resistance zone, there's a block of orders, and this gap here. So, this should be technically drone liquidity, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're looking at lower prices. We did have a kind of pretty solid trending gauge. We did have an inverse around this area, but I don't think it's necessarily relevant. I think at least we should draw towards it and then maybe respect bullish order flow if that's the case. But overall, I'm just looking to short off the supply here formed in yesterday's New York. And why is that? Because this supply is really strong here. It's formed around the pivotal point, and yeah, it's really strong. It's a fractal high that filled the gap here, so the supply right here should hold price lower, right? We're 10 minutes before London. Yes, we do have a pretty strong trending Asia in terms of price respecting this FVG and going higher. But I don't think it's gonna matter because see, price is kind of slowing down, so we're gonna see what happens. Where we have buy sell liquidity here swept on the high, so we can easily look for a short here, targeting either this or final TP those lows here, which we have equal lows on. The supply is really strong, and because it has a like a big fucking rebalance, it has a gap here, so I would want to see kind of a deeper pullback than price what price is doing right now, but it's not a necessity, right? We're gonna watch this low as for price to break it, or so we either like come a bit higher and then break lower and then start going towards this, or we start breaking lower now and then we get like a failed swing. But both scenarios are equally good. Same goes for euro, but euro is a bit stronger, and I don't think we want to short the strongest pair here. Same thing, essentially expect the price to respect this huge high here and still go lower, even though it's kind of retracement trade because price is currently retracing. I still think price is gonna draw towards this lows here and towards this 1 hour AVG, so I think price is most likely gonna draw towards that and still respect this London supply lower. Even though yeah, trending Asia looks kind of trending and it's kind of heavy, I don't think necessarily it's gonna matter. Same with DXY. It's a bit like iffy, but if you look at it, the range looks pretty solid, right? Range looks pretty solid. We have right on liquidity break of structure, and now we have this as an inducement. So technically, even though range is pretty balanced, we also have equal highs here. It should continue higher. The only thing is that price can also continue lower because we fill this full gap here, but I feel like price should still reach towards this big two candles here and come one more time and back, or either that, or either at least we're gonna see a retracement towards this 4 hour. I think, is it a 4 hour? It is a 4 hour, so at least see a retracement towards that 4 hour and start then like take this as an inducement and then continue lower. So generally we should at least buy short term, which means euro will sell short term, with GU shorting a bit more, a bit heavier since it's the weakest pair. So even though that, we're gonna pay attention to that and we're gonna see how price behaves, because if price gives us necessary confluence, we can even look at buys here on euro. But we're just gonna be slightly patient and especially wait for this. This is kind of what I'm down to. G was way weaker, so we want to obviously short the weaker pair and long the stronger pair. In our case, euro is the stronger pair, so that's obviously what we want to do right now. So we want to short GU and we want to buy euro if it gets the opportunity. I don't want to really buy. Don't really want to sell euro because the same happened yesterday. We see how hard we delivered here compared to GU melting way more. So yeah, I missed a really good trade here yesterday, but it's fine. Like, we're gonna have opportunities maybe even today. I clearly see, only by looking at Asia, we clearly see like GU's weaker. So obviously we want to short this pair. Like even here we have an SMT with euro, GU being like equal lows almost, and euro making a big high here. So it's a big difference in momentum, right? We're gonna see what happens. Generally, we pay attention to this low, but I feel like I don't know if it's gonna break necessarily. If it's gonna break early, yeah, sure. I don't know if necessarily I'm down to trend short straight off this, But since we are in a 4-hour POI, we might be down to short. So I'm just gonna be ready because we also swept all this buy sell liquidity here, so we might not need to come higher, right? So I'm just gonna be ready in case this happens, in case price just breaks lower from here. I'm just gonna open my MetaTrader just to be ready, because we're just opening Langdon. So if we just massively start breaking lower instantly, that's gonna be great, right? And we look to short of this market structure shift. But I think it's gonna break, like we just swept like triple equal highs, so we don't necessarily need more structure to be formed, right? Euro most likely gonna come and take this in this one because we have an order block here. And I mean, it's not a necessity because it's already mitigated, but yeah, it's not a necessity, but I feel like it's gonna do that since an early displacement. And looking at the XY, we still have this order block here, but it's not necessarily something that's like guaranteed to happen. Like nothing's guaranteed in trading, but we're gonna watch here. We're gonna watch GU because I'm really down for some shorts on GU. Like generally taking partials or taking partials around this inverse, around this FVG and this inverse, and final take profit gonna leave towards the lows if we manage to run that much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's a simple idea. It's a Red Asia, my not necessarily favorite setup, but the setup I traded the most. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in trading this. Even though it looks kind of trending, it doesn't really matter. Like considering context, it's very likely to fail. The trending Asia to fail higher and go lower, especially on GU. UK looks a bit bearish, but I don't know. Like why I say UK looks bearish is because how we respected this 1 hour FVG here looks like it's gonna initiate lower than retest. Use this, either we go just massively bullish of this, or we use this to retrace and continue lower. But there's a lot of resistance around these lows, so it's kind of a bit more likely to hold price from here. Gold looks massively bullish because we just inverse a 4 hour after taking this inducement. We closed above liquidity, just too many bullish signs for me here, but I don't think we're gonna have a model to trade within. So unless, I don't know, price gives something clear, we're probably gonna hold this like this and probably start retracing and then maybe continue if we have like a potential New York setup. Yeah, maybe. AUD/USD still looks bearish, but not a setup I would trade. We do have this significant low here, pivotal area. We most likely either hold this supply because it's really strong, or we come a bit deeper and sweep both of these New York highs and come into the CVG and then go lower. But yeah, still gonna look at GU. It's a lot of trend and liquidity, so this can also happen. It depends. So we're waiting. We're just stalling at the moment for London Open, which is in 2 minutes, I guess. Yeah, it's a pretty like these days are kind of low probability. That's why price will take its time to deliver. We're not gonna have that much like instant fast delivery. But yeah. Okay, so we had a kind of pump on cryptos. Interesting. But yeah, no, nothing to buy. Or like I feel like it's still gonna go lower off this big gap. Same with Bitcoin. I still think, as I said many times previously, we're gonna reach into 70K. Like this was my bias on on Bitcoin for a long time. I'm just gonna see what happens here. I'm not gonna demo trade because I feel like I studied yesterday my journals and I realized that demo trading actually has been reinforcing some bad habits into my brain, especially when you do it too much, right? When you do it too much, you reinforce some bad habits. So until price kind of gives us something, I'm gonna show you what I journaled yesterday, because I journaled both of these trades and I learned quite a lot of things actually, regardless of me losing like 2%. Doesn't matter. We learned a lot of things. So first, of course, we went over context. What did I do wrong in the DAX trade? So we had like intuition and entry pattern, demo trading too much, probabilities thinking if you set up close. Actually my close was a bit bad. Over leveraging on a hard time frame. And she was dissing, but there was one candle that actually indicated a big difference in price. This candle here, what it indicated is that we're gonna have a deeper pullback. Ooh, we're already crashing on. I'm actually kind of down. Ooh, what is this momentum? So I'm down to short. Like as I said, like I don't need to wait for much. If we close bearish and down to short, like we get a perfect 2 hour. Like I think we get it at 3.44 to 4.0 on the lows. Okay. So if we close bearish up down to short like instantly, we do have this gap here. So I'm not necessarily sure if I want to just instantly short of this, but we're gonna see how we close, right? Okay, UK displays lower. So yeah, this can be a short-term buy, but I'm not really trying to do that shit, you know what I mean? So we're gonna watch, like, I kind of feel like it's gonna look more like a trendline liquidity sweep, and we still go higher and then reverse. Like it's also like um start of London. So I'm not sure. We're gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it. Currently we're displacing, so yeah, in this case one candle indicated that we're gonna have a deep pullback, and that's just like what I realized. I learned that actually one little detail can determine whether we're gonna have a deep pullback in our entry, or we're gonna have like a entry. So in this case our entry would have been good if we had another candle close and bearish here, or our entry being here. So yeah. Close was slightly bad, but I'm not gonna go over it. Like, yeah, we're shorting in a lot of resistance here. That was the mistake. So this, I kind of went over some scenarios that when is that like drone liquidity getting taken means something like significant, or when it doesn't. Like in our case, if we're in a low resistance area and we don't have much consolidation or much resistance to the left, price slowly going higher after drone liquidity doesn't mean shit. It just means we're gonna retrace towards the POI and then still continue lower, with this low becoming drone liquidity. So this is the low resistance, strong rejection. This means when price takes drone liquidity, it inverses, same as gold did basically. Because we're not necessarily in a high resistance zone, we're just in a gap, but we inverse. So this means we're bullish, and this kind of switches around. And this was the UK trade we had, where we had this high resistance area that even though we slowly retrace higher, slowly start going higher, it means that anyways trying to trade like souls here are really getting really risky. So that's pretty much it. Like, I learned a lot of things, but I'm not gonna go over them because I just want to monitor this. As I said, it looks bullish. It looks like a trailing liquidity sweep, and we just sweep this low, come into this 5-minute FVG and still continue higher. At least that's gonna what it looks like to me, and then potentially reverse. But yeah, as I said, short-term buy here of that FVG, but it depends. I didn't really feel that FVG. This is an early short. As I said, this looks like a rate on liquidity. It just looks. Why I expected it to be a rate on liquidity and still go higher is because of this. Basically just too much trend on liquidity here, unless we kind of broke like massively. So like still gonna see some type of rejection higher, or we see something like this, which I feel like is likely to happen, and we entry around this pivotal point, and then we continue to look lower for lower prices. I mean, it's a bit risky because of this, but Jew is gonna be our main focus as of today. Euro kind of looks like it's already printing bearish, so I'm not sure, because it just took the high. Maybe we're seeing kind of switching momentum here. Are we seeing a switch in momentum? I feel like this is a pretty good like entry, but it lacks confluence. It's just a gap, right? Just a gap. We get a very high high, but I feel like it's still kind of too early to try and consider ourselves. We did take that in this one high here, but I feel like, yeah, we gotta see like a pretty good 5-minute here, but it's just too early. Geo rejecting that low pretty hard. We're just gonna be patient and wait for a bit more confluence. Like, regardless if price leaves from this, I feel like it's still naked to try and look, and it's a displacement form before London. Like this candle form before London, these are generally displacement that do not hold, that usually get manipulated. So yeah, same, even though we rejected pretty hard lower, I feel like, yeah, it's too early to try and consider. So I'm being like locked in. I'm not gonna trade out of FOMO or anything right now. I'm just like assessing probabilities. I feel like for euro, we might want to see like a failed swing to actually take the shit. We want to see this get breaking, therefore broken. Therefore, we want to see is this or what is it? Yeah, displacement looks decent, but it's not like the only area of displacement is around here, and we don't have an inverse. It's not really like something I want to trade. I feel like it's a trap, like how price does many times. Traps. Ooh, wait. I kind of like this. I actually kind of like this gap on Jew. Like even though on the 30-minute it got filled. I'm not sure. I kind of like it, but I feel like it's not necessarily enough to enter because we still have that gap here, and I don't like that gap. So we gotta be patient. Like, yeah, no matter how hard I wanna like trade it, we gotta wait. Even though like the gap on the sure it looks like a gap on the 5-minute, but when you look at the 3-minute, ooh, it's balanced, so it has no relevance pretty much. So that's why we gotta be patient. As if we were on a 3-minute, maybe if we didn't have this wick, but and I'm also fighting a 5-minute FVG, so it's just too risky. Like sure the low is good, sure, but it's still too early to try and look for results. Maybe our best bet is like it. And then we come back. Like this looks bullish. Well, no, I just gotta trust. I just gotta make the best decision and don't think about me wanting to trade. That's pretty much it. This, yeah, pretty decent gap, but not something. It's not something I would trade, to be honest. This can be again a demo trade, but do I want to still demo trade? Maybe. I'm just gonna like put this, just put a sell. I don't want to trade UK anyways. And then just, yeah, just put it here and just don't look at price. Just don't look at price. I mean, yeah, UK we gotta see like some like, yeah, no POIs formed just yet. As I said, Jews rejecting pretty heavily, so we're probably still gonna see that. At least that's what it looks. And then reverse. Now it's too early to see that shit. And we have this small FVG here, that price, and they're kind of coming towards. So this probably will not hold. Like on the DXY, it looks a way better gap compared to Euro. I kind of want to open DXY as well just to monitor, but I'm not sure if I want to open it on my same monitor though. But yeah, we just gotta pay attention to what price does. DXY and U. Oops. Just really heavily rejecting, so obviously this is not a good displacement. I kinda wanna also monitor Euro on my second monitor. I feel like it's not a bad idea. Like these are the pairs I want to trade today, so why not monitor them all? Right, you know what I mean? So okay, choose rejecting. Still on the 1-minute, yes. Doesn't look like a bad gap, but it just lacks confluence. It's not an area I would be really confident in buying from. You know what I mean? Like it's just not it. So Geo, we either kinda I was aware of this order block, maybe we come within it, or we just start dwelling lower. And now if we disrespect that, I would consider shorting, but yeah, otherwise, nah, hell nah, bruh. This looks really similar to what we had yesterday. This is a really pivotal point. Now it has become a really pivotal point because you held it twice. It might break, it might not break. Technically, it would not have a reason to come back above. But still, like, oh, our stop loss already got hit on UK, really? Okay, I guess we were more likely to play buys here. Of course, because we reached that 1 hour, so it makes sense. But I'm not gonna care about this. It's not my priority right now. It looks good, but I don't think it's gonna be a good opportunity to try and short this. Even if we break, like, yeah, it's just bad. I feel like it's a chaser, if that makes sense. You have to be patient. Patience is key, bro. So I learned from trading, and now we're just waiting for this. This is kind of rejecting, but yeah, not really. Euro didn't even come in that FVG, so I'm not gonna switch monitor. I'm just gonna show you didn't even come in the FVG because of DXY already having an FVG. So if you actually play with DXY, sometimes it makes sense. Look, you can do some pretty crazy things. This is also the real version. I didn't even notice. Actually, pretty strong. Actually, we're gonna start breaking the high, and then we're gonna get like a fill swing. That's kind of what I'm expecting on Geo as well. And we didn't really have an entry opportunity. Like both the 3-minute and the 5-minute candles got closed. So yeah, DXY is looking healthy. Like it's looking healthy, it's looking good. Probably gonna start breaking this high, but yeah, and then probably yeah, we either hold the fuck out of this high lower, or in my opinion, I think what's more likely to happen is we break this high, then we come retest this order block, and then continue higher. And this is probably gonna be London's move, with the rest consolidating, and then maybe New York continuing down lower, right? But yeah, other than that, nothing really much. Like, there's no way there's no real way I would enter here anyways on Jew, so we gotta give it time to print. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen about Jew. I feel like yeah, this rate on liquidity looks solid as I said, but we gotta see like something better. Like, we cannot entry here. Like if we entry on the break lower, we're gonna have a shit stop loss. First of all, because obviously the safest, this is where your stop loss should be, on the protected high. But if we entry here, we gotta sacrifice, and that's just like not a, you know what I mean? We gotta wait. We're just gonna be patient with it. That's pretty much it. We're just gonna wait for this to gotta take time to print, like, you know. Especially like first 30 minutes of London is probably gonna be bait. That's how it usually is. Or we either like consolidate. There is a potential to consolidate, or like this one like this, and we look at a New York reversal, because usually when Asia's this big, like we tend to play the reversal in New York, and London tends to be a bit slower. Like this is kind of a scenario I would be really down to trade for New York. Like this is how it usually happens. But yeah, it depends, right? Like Asia, when Asia's big, usually, again, as I said, we trade high, slow higher with London, then we grab all that liquidity break, and then it start going lower. So, but DXY is hella respecting that inverse. So we gotta see. I don't know. Actually, now thinking about it, I think it's more likely to reverse off New York. Actually, like a long-term reversal, like a good reversal. Usually, how it happens, but we gotta wait. and this does indeed become a regular query. I mean, that's what it looks like. We'll see. You're actually melted, bro. Like, this could have been a trade. Unlucky. But it's not over. This could have been like an insane trade of that 5 minute gap, but was I really confident in taking this short? Maybe I'm dumb, like, cause I hesitated. But I feel like, yeah, again, it's not, I don't know. Maybe I hesitated for no reason, but it would have already been like, bruh, you already got 2R here. Fuck. Did we miss another trade? Maybe. Am I wrong for not taking it? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure. And Juice way stronger. I don't know why now. Juice stronger lower time frame, while Euro is way weaker. I don't understand, but yeah, it is what it is. We're getting that failed swing. I mean, most likely DXY is gonna retrace towards this, so we're still probably gonna get an opportunity of shorting here. Especially, I would like to see this low not get taken. That would be perfect because it would mean that we're stacking liquidity, and that would be a really good level. So if we manage to see a retrace towards that, that would actually be perfect. Like, I think the XY is gonna, that's why I'm confident. It's kind of exactly what I'm happy, like I want it to happens. Like I said, I wanted to see this high get broken first before considering to entry, because we didn't have any areas of confluence to just look to buy of this. These are very risky buys to take. Now we do have like a valid market structure shift, and now we can see the failed swing happen, and then we can look at buys because we have way more confluence right now to look at a buy on the XY and not a sell on Euro. So we're just being patient. Regardless if we get missed or not, like, it is what it is. I feel like it's not necessarily a bad choice. Like, it could have been taken, but if we had an inverse, maybe. Like, yeah, I was kind of confident in shorting, but I don't know if I was that confident in just like boom, like, you know what I mean? Like, just shorting of a gap, of a real simple gap when we don't have confluence. Like, yeah, yeah, we had New York low getting taken here, which I was monitoring on DXY, but I still thought it's too early. But there's no need to worry because price most likely will come around this order block, or at least this FVG around the highs. Technically on DXY, this can be a good, like, pretty good buy, but I feel like it's still better off to wait for a confluence, for price to retrace before doing that. So I'm actually gonna swap places because Geo looks like it's slow. So we're gonna do this with Euro. This would have been a crazy short, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, this gap looks pretty good on DXY, so I wonder if shorting off here makes sense. Not really. Oh my god, not really, to be honest. I mean, on the lows, yeah. If you look at the really long term, I feel like it's still better off to wait. Like, you can take like DXY, that FVG looks good. Like, this FVG, that's the thing. But I'm not sure. Like, if I hesitate, it's just better off to sit on the bench. Even if I miss another setup, it's just better off to sit on the bench. Am I wrong for not thinking the setup of a gap only? I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure because, yeah, I'm just not sure. And if I'm not sure, it's probably the better choice to not take the trade. Like, there are cases where, yeah, you can trade off simply gaps. I trade off just gaps and no other confluence, but I don't think this was necessarily the case. Like, for me to take this trade, I would have liked to see an inverse around this area. I feel like, yeah, still this. Oh yeah, and this placement was pre-London, so it's a really risky setup, like, to take. Now that we have that second leg, it might be better, but I'm not sure I wanna, like, maybe something like this. Yeah. this would be like proper R2R on that FVG. We're expecting price to potentially react from 3.5 on the here and 5 on the lows. Like this would make sense. But I still think like it's just better off to wait. I don't I'm not sure. But I still think it's better off to wait because price can just invalidate completely. I mean, obviously that always can happen. But when we have rallies initiating before London, it's way better off to just wait for confluence most of the times. So we're gonna do that. Like regardless if we get missed on or not, I still think the best decision here is to wait for price to come here slowly and then give us another entry pattern, and then we take like a safe stop loss. Then we have confluence that our stop loss is good, is protected. Then we get a proper R, then we get everything we want. So it's just a matter of patience. Obviously I would like this low to stay intact, but yeah, we'll see. For me, DXY definitely looks like it's gonna most likely gonna hold this, but it's not a necessity because I said like this is a rate on liquidity and price can definitely hold this lower from here and just go. But yeah, it's a good like delayed, but I feel like yeah, I feel like just doesn't inspire me confidence. Why doesn't inspire me confidence, you might ask? Because this low is like like no real area of inversion. We just took a low. You know what I mean? Two gaps has likelihood. Like it's a weird like setup, but something like this would make sense. Yeah, I said for me, this order block is mostly gonna get like tapped. I don't think it's worth not. I feel like it's risky. Like I don't know. I just this is what my intuition tells me. I don't have reason to hesitate. It's just I don't have reason to hesitate on a setup I'm confident in. But the only reason I'm hesitating is because there is a reason behind me hesitating, which is we lack structure and the displacement initiated pre-London, and that's usually a trap. Most of the time, it's a trap. But as I said, that order block looks good. Most likely gonna reach into it. Either gonna reach into it or either we're gonna respect this FG higher from here. We're just gonna be patient. There's no need to hurry. We're in 10:30, so this is when kind of the real move happens. That's why it's also risky because the real move might be bullish. Still, we gotta be patient enough. Patience is key. FOMO, not having FOMO is key, and I'm not having FOMO right now. If we get missed, we get missed. But yeah, I feel like now looking at price, we still gotta wait for another confluence. Like it can be taken. One reason it can be taken and just continue shorting is because we didn't take that low. But again, it's a pretty strong low, so it's not a necessity to necessarily take it. But see, this is a pretty strong reaction. Unless it gets like completely wicked, not a good reaction for um our sell idea on euro and buy idea on blah, 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 blah. We're just gonna be patient. I feel like that's the best choice regardless. Yeah. You don't need to hurry. As I said, for me, that order block is gonna get reached, and now we're gonna most likely also have an inversion to go with it. So plus for plus. I like this. I feel like yeah, I like this. I feel like we're gonna reach into that order block that we said, and then we're gonna break this inversion, and then we're gonna like have really good confluence for us to continue looking at shorts. Otherwise, if we respect this, obviously it's fucked. Like it's not necessarily like you can go two ways. Yeah, we're gonna have confluence if we inverse it, but we can also respect it and just go lower and break this. Like what can usually happen in this order blocks, like areas, it can be like also this like we came on the order block, we have a reaction like a bullish candle, but we don't break below and we start breaking lower and then retest and just continue. You know what I mean? So something like this on euro. This can happen most of the times as well. So that's why I don't think like, depending on how this can kind of forms, it's gonna like have a pretty big impact on price. It's a good formation for our idea, but we just need to see close like this. Like it alone doesn't mean much. This is a case where we actually do need confluence. Like we could have entered here again, yes, but I feel like it's risky. Like even now, let's say we inverse this, we have a pretty decent stop, even though we don't have that crazy R. In terms, we still have pretty decent at 1.7 on the area, like 4 on the lows, and 5 at least on final target. So there's some multiple target trade. For now, it's good. I want to see the candle close like this because that means we're going to have an inversion to go with our idea, basically. Yes, as I said, we could have risk. I was thinking about going 0.5 on this order block. Like playing the idea like this would have made sense because I was really confident in price reaching into this. But yeah. Maybe I should have actually. But now it's too late anyways. The gap is getting close on the XY. Would it indeed come towards that? But let's just wait, right? Let's just wait. 16p pip, which is like three lots, 3 point some, 3 point some. If we manage to take the trade, Euro, USD. If we consider now we have confluence if we break lower. So if we consider we're at 16 pip stop loss with a 1% 3.125. But it does look it does look bullish, I wanted to say. Ooh, I think it's gonna break lower. And that scenario where I said that we're just gonna have an initial reaction of the order block and then continue lower, it might happen, or we just pull deeper into this order block and then inverse. Chew still chopping around, is not doing much, but yeah. I feel like we still need more structure. I would like prices like still slowly come up and then like offer us a better sweep of this, a better entry pattern for us to get like a R like this, something like that, and have a protective stop loss from the highs, but it doesn't always happen. Because this is a pretty good rejection on the 5 minute, looking at it. Just getting ready in case price gives us what we want. 1 minute inversion, also valid on the 1 minute. But it's kind of rejecting. So orange would be 109,620. Yeah, basically. Entry. Good. This is good. But we obviously need, I feel like we need still to wait for the next candle. It's not like a massive inversion, but in this case it doesn't matter. All we needed was more confluence. It looks good now. Euro 3.125, I think was it. I'm gonna go slightly higher. 0.6. Sell limit on, I think I'm gonna go on this 1 minute, 109,605. 109,605. Stop loss 109,804. Take profit out of 109,150. I think orange is taking a bit lower. I think it's taking something like this. Stop loss still a bit slightly bigger. Maybe I should have actually taken my entry on that order block. I don't know, for some reason it feels iffy to me. It feels like price gonna come and sweep that shit. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait for the 3 minute just to like have a bit more clarity. Yeah, we could have definitely taken our entry and that would have been really good. Yeah, I think I should have actually taken my entry because just think about it. Like I knew price gonna come here, and this would have been our R instead of like being way worse. Fuck. I don't even think I wanna like entry here, to be honest. She's around here. Like this looks like it's gonna hold this 3 minute and we're having a stop loss like this. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I definitely don't feel comfortable doing it, at least. I'm probably not gonna start trading here, to be honest. Like, if I don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna take it. I like Juice slightly better, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence either. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't like. We should have, Orange should have been here. Like, at this point, I don't know. I feel like this is what I feel. Like, this is what I see. I feel like now price is gonna come really close to this high and then start breaking lower. Like, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like rejecting that low, so I'm not sure. I don't want to force none. I don't want to force none. I feel like it's too late now to try and trade, but we ended up holding that pivotal point with you, so Jew might be a good choice. But the break just looks not it. That's what I feel. Not it. We're still better off waiting for the retracement. Like, regardless if we have this gap, we held the 1 minute pivotal point. Kind of looks, it actually kind of looks decent. Wait, but R is not great. Definitely, we get like at most 3R on the lows, 2R on Asian lows. I feel like this is decent, but R stop us above the pivotal high, which makes sense. On the 5 minute, I like how it looks. That's the thing, but I'm not sure. Not sure if I like it. If it closed bearish, like if it closed pretty strong, I might consider taking it. But otherwise, I'm not sure. Like, sad we missed that on Euro, bro. I should have taken my entry on the order block, but I still don't know if I should have. Like, if it was a good choice to take it, like, regardless of price working right now. I'm not sure if I did indeed should have do that or just I hesitated for no reason. I'm not sure yet. But I do like this 5 minute break on GU, and I do like that we're having our stop loss protected in a really pivotal price point. So this I'm actually down to trade. We're gonna get like 2R on Asian lows and 3.3R on final TP. I do like this break actually, so like 3 lots. I feel like I do like this, but I don't know if we're gonna get like the so 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 7 to 1 to 6, 7. Wait, what am I doing? 1 to 7, 6, 7 2, 6, 7 2. Top plus at the pivotal point 1 2 7 8 4 5, 8 4 5, and take profit. I don't know. 1 2 7 3 to 2. Oops, 1. My bad. 1 2 7 3 to 2. This is a good break, and yours probably melting already. Bruh, that entry would have been so good. Fuck. Another set I missed, and now I'm really not really that down to take continuations. I feel like it's better off for you to take this trade if we manage to. Bro, but I knew it, bro. I don't know why I didn't listen to my intuition. I should have. Or 2R on that. It was perfect R. Like, just think about it. Sometimes I just want to, like, end my life. You know what I mean? Look at the entry we would have gotten. Like, sometimes I just need to trade off intuition, I feel like. But yeah. It is what it is. Can I have everything? And looks like Gio's gonna leave as well. You cannot have everything in this life. This orange on Gio, I'm not sure how I feel. Is this like a feeling? Is this... It's not bad, actually. It's not a bad entry. But I'm mad at the Euro trade because that would have been like sick, bro. Like, imagine. And another, once again, a really good opportunity getting missed. And that's why sometimes I get frustrated at myself, but it is what it is. It is what it is. In this case, what gave me confidence to take this entry, yeah, 1 minute's already mitigated. I don't know if we're gonna re-reach, is the fact that we actually have our stop loss in a pivotal point in price, even though it kind of looks like liquidity is not. Like, in this case, it's actually pretty significant. And one thing I think I should actually trust in here is taking my entry a bit lower on that order block, because we have a 3-minute order blocks, and I kind of feel like it's gonna get held. If not, it is what it is. But that's what I feel like. I know that price is unlikely to reach back into that, and it's more likely to hold FVG rather than reach back into that 5-minute FVG higher. So it's not FOMO, it's just kind of what my intuition is telling me. So if I didn't listen to it on the Euro trade, at least I'm gonna listen it here. Even though we get worse hard, doesn't matter. So I'm kind of mad, but I'm not gonna let that feeling get to me. Cause think about it, bro. Like, even low probability day, like, these are the setups. It's annoying. At this point, I'm just gonna let it run. See what happens. I need to eat. My stomach. Actually deleted my order on you. I feel like at this point it's just my emotions. Like it's just chasing price. It's really bad. Well, if we get like something like this, then go fine. But I don't think it's a time where we gotta chase price, especially with this break not looking that good. Well, yeah. Same with Euro. We're probably like our last opportunity to get involved in this move is if we get a retracement, pretty much, which is kind of likely to happen because of how it looks. Well, this is actually where bearish intention can come in the XY. But bro, So looks like it's working, like, but keep in mind the thing I said about my intuition told me, right? This is why I say I possess a lot of potential. It said we're not gonna reach that gap. We're gonna respect the order block. Look what happened. Look what happened. Exactly what I said. Same with Euro, bro. Like same with Euro with that order block. It's just that I understand why I hesitated and I understand why I didn't execute. Because we didn't have an inverse here and this market structure shift looked really choppy. That's the reason why I hesitated. But you gotta get better at navigating price and making decisions when we lack clarity. When we don't have news, we will not have a gap here. When we have news, we're probably gonna have a gap here that's gonna get inverse. But what matters is not that gap. What matters is not that gap here. What matters is generally how price, the pattern of price, which is this move right here, which is a valid entry. This move right here, it's a valid entry, regardless of us having an inverse here. Market structure shift present, imaginary inverse, then it would make sense, right, to execute. Right? It would make a lot of sense. It's just that I gotta get better at navigating price when we lack clarity, which means when we lack that inverse here. This is what I gotta work on, because that's the reason I hesitated. But look what entry I would have gotten. And it was on live. It was caught on live when I said price is most likely gonna come into the order block because it's really good and it's most likely gonna hold it. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened even with GU. Here I feel like I'm not sure about GU if I should have taken this. I feel like GU is stronger at the moment. So I don't know if I don't really think this is necessarily a safe entry or it's a good entry. But again, proof of my intuition saying that it's gonna respect the order block, which it did. Alright, we're gonna wait for a retracement. That's gonna be the least or the max that we're gonna wait for. This 1 hour has a really high chance of causing a reaction higher for us to retrace within this high resistance zone. So this is kind of gonna be my last shot at price. If price comes and retrace and then we look to take another entry, that's gonna be another opportunity if it's presented. If not, that's all right. But it's sad that I missed it €1. But this is what you cannot get affected by results. Even though I missed it and it hurts, and I could have been like already could have been so much RM profit, like 2.3 already. 2.3 is already like main TP got hit. It's not that this is not what matters. As I said in my previous video on my YouTube, results don't matter. What matters is the process. So what can I improve on? What do I suck at? I suck at navigating price when we don't have so much clarity in price, when price is slow, especially in low probability days. So this is in fact getting better at navigating price in low probability days or choppy days where price doesn't have so much clarity in price. We see that we clearly had volatility coming in, we just didn't have clarity around this area. Because if you had an inverse here, I would have most likely gonna take this entry, and we had a bit of a cleaner market structure shift. That's pretty much the only reason I didn't take this trade, because I kind of suck at navigating low probability conditions. The GU trade, I'm not sure yet. Like I feel this trade is still iffy. That's why I didn't take it. Like if it's iffy, it's iffy. Like I don't really care what's happening to this trade, but this one I should have got taken. But again, it's just a matter of improvement. Like I just gotta improve and now be aware when I suck. Okay, when I suck, when should have I taken this trade? Yes, definitely should have taken it. But why didn't I take it? I understand why I didn't take it, because I hesitated because of price lacking structure. Therefore, now next time I know what to get better at. What can I improve? This is no matter what happens in the day, no matter if you miss a trade, no matter if you win, no matter if you lose, your focus should be on improving. So what can I improve? So I can improve me navigating low probability conditions, or when price lacks clarity. Even though price lacks clarity, clarity is not what matters. What matters is the pattern in itself, which was this right here when we broke. This is what matters here, and this is what I should have traded, regardless of if we have an inverse or not. The pattern gave by price is what matters. You know what I mean? So this is a thing I gotta improve on. GU trade, as I said, I'm still not sure if this is a good trade or not. But yeah, I don't really like how this displacement looks. Yeah, if we get a failed swing, like again, the same idea. If we get a retracement here, I might consider taking shorts again. Same with Euro. I'm kind of waiting for price to come back in this high resistance zone, which is from this low. Because I don't think price in a low probability, they would know news is gonna just have momentum to just displace lower towards final TP. This will probably get reached by New York, so that means we're most likely gonna have a retrace. Especially this is what is beneficial because we have a 1 hour. This will cause a retrace towards high resistance, mitigate orders, and then get a re-entry to continue lower. So that's essentially what I'm watching, right? But yeah, sadly we got missed. Like I missed, but it's just a matter of improvement. It's not a matter of skill. I mean, it is a matter of skill, but did I know price is gonna come in this order block? I did. I did know this is where I should aim my entry. So look what entry would have had, like the biggest fucking sniper entry possible on that 5 minute order block. Why did I hesitate? Because of no inverse. This is a thing I've been noticing a lot. I need to get better at navigating price when we don't have that many confluence for our entry pattern. Even though entries are definitely my strong point in trading, that doesn't mean they do not need to be improved. Does that make sense? I don't know about you, as I said, this trade is a bit iffier because it's a stronger pair. So we had a pretty big switch in momentum here with Euro. I don't know why, but I think because of pricing where we are in the range. I think that's one of the reasons. But yeah, we're just still gonna wait. This is gonna be another opportunity. We don't need to shut ourselves down. This is one of my bad habits I have. If I get missed on an entry, if I get stopped out or something like that, and if another opportunity presents itself, I'm not taking it because I feel like I don't deserve it. But I deserve it. Like if price getting offered another opportunity, I'll take it. Because it's still a matter of improvement. Like everything in trading is a matter of improvement. Like if I miss this trade here, was it for a reason? Was it because of something I'm lacking? Was it because of something I'm missing or something I need to improve? If the answer is yes, then it's just a matter of time until I catch the setups like this. If not, and if I think the setup was iffy and not worth taking, that's okay. It's just a setup that worked, but it was risky to take. This trade was not risky to take. I don't consider it risky to take, but it was iffy. It was iffy. The entry pattern was iffy. I don't know. Again, I'll journal this. I know what I have to improve, and this is the next step of improving. Like the next step of improving, I had a really clear read on price, exactly what I wanted to happen. Price coming and taking this high. This is a really strong high, and I really expected bearish price action, at least towards this 1 hour. This 1 hour, I said, is either gonna like continue displacing from here, or it's either gonna cause a retracement, and that's kind of what's happening. By the looks of the range, it's most likely gonna cause a retracement exactly into this 50-minute FVG we have. So again, it's just a matter of improvement. Everything is a matter of improvement. So it's a matter of improvement, a matter of time until I catch setups like this, regardless of price being a bit choppy around our entry. This is what I notice on myself because I journal, and I noticed that there's times when you don't have that many confluence for your entry, but that doesn't mean anything. Like it's just what happens in usually low probability days. This exactly here is the perfect example. This price was really choppy here. Right, we had a small gap here, yes, but here it was really choppy, and usually price is not like this in normal days. Price is usually not like this in normal days. That's the thing. What happened here? Oops, fuck. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Like I do not need to be hard on myself because I missed an entry. Because why? Because it's a matter of improvement. I didn't miss it because I hesitated on a setup that is really clear and really textbook. I missed the trade on a setup that lacked clarity for me, and that's why I hesitated. Like it's not wrong to hesitate on a trade that lacks a bit of clarity. It's just wrong not to improve and next time catch it. Does that make sense? Like it's still a matter of improvement, as I said. And it doesn't mean it's over. Like price slowly comes here, we're just gonna wait for price to do what we want it to do and retrace in high resistance, and we can get another opportunity. It doesn't mean it's over. Like don't shut myself down. Another habit of mine which I'm improving. As I said, it's just a matter of improvement. There's no need. There's no like you being mad at yourself for missing an entry. It's not gonna help you with anything. Like it's gonna happen regardless. Even if you're the best trader in all time, you're gonna miss really good entries. Like it's something that happens regardless. Like it's gonna happen, but what matters is how you react. How do you react? Do you get mad at yourself, or do you improve and try to fix the things that made you miss the entry or hesitate on the entry? In trading, all you gotta focus on is improvement. Like this is not gonna be the last trade that's gonna happen like this. Definitely not. In the next 6 months, there's gonna be tens of trades like this, 50 trades like this until summer, let's say. So I have reason to be mad at myself for missing a trade. It's actually interesting that even in a low probability day in terms of being CPI week, we actually had two pretty decent trades. That's actually really interesting. So behavior is going to be very similar to something like this. We're definitely going to have a retracement. And yeah, it doesn't mean it's over. It just mean we missed the first ride, and then price can offer us a second ride. It doesn't mean there's no opportunity. Yes, would have been way better for us. We would already been secured like a 2% definitely on this FBG, because I said it's an area of danger. But does it matter? It doesn't, because I know it was a matter of improvement. It was not a matter of psychological issue. It was not my fault in terms of something I knew but I didn't do. It was just something natural. I hesitated naturally because of price being iffy. But now, since I saw this issue happening a lot of times in myself, I know that this is a thing I can improve. And lack of clarity or price being choppy here doesn't mean shit. What matters is the pattern in itself, what price did. And here we were pretty clear. Price broke pretty strong, but what made me hesitate was what we did to the left. Does that make sense? So yeah, we're still waiting. Like, it's not over. It's never over. I feel like GeoTrade is not that clean. I feel like, I don't know, it's gonna struggle a lot. I mean, Geo is very likely to come and retrace back into that, but I think Geo has not a 4-hour, 1-hour inverse that we're reacting off of, so I'm not sure about this, but we'll see. We're gonna monitor both. Probably come back into above this highs, but I feel like it's more likely to hold from here, and euro is more likely to retrace a bit deeper. This is where I watch. If we got missed and TP gets hit, fine, it is what it is, but I still feel like this movement indicates to me that we're gonna see a retracement. But I don't think I'm just gonna sit here and watch. I think I'm gonna, like, just chill. If we get an opportunity, it's gonna be recorded, but this was it. Like, the lessons for today is price being choppy doesn't mean there's no trade worth taking. Here this is an iffy setup. This is a setup I don't think is necessarily worth trading. Like, it's just iffy, and it is really chasing price because we're taking our entry really kind of far. If you think about it in terms of range, like, if we were like this was our range, our stop loss is in 0507. That's not a good thing. That's not a thing you necessarily want to do. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of improvement. As long as we improve every single day, it doesn't matter. Like, trades like this we will catch. But what made me mad is because I knew where was the good area for entry. What I didn't know is price giving signs for this entry to be worth taking. You know what I mean? So again, matter of improvement. It doesn't matter what current results say or what that doesn't matter. This thing, these things don't matter. Long term matters. In the long term, I'm still gonna take those, right? And what annoyed me is obviously because I knew. Like, this is why I say entries are my strong point, because I can predict stuff like this. I can predict stuff like this, where I say, like, okay, just by experience, knowing price, I know that what's wrong with my tripod. I know that price will not comment that average, and it's most likely gonna respect that. That's why I say, like, my intuition, my experience, and my entries are my strong point, and my read on price usually. So yeah, my read on price here is we're gonna retrace, even though we're slow. We're gonna take our time and initiate. I think we're gonna initiate in lunchtime, but we're gonna be careful. Yeah, so this is probably gonna be the live. I'm obviously gonna still keep watching this. I'm not gonna give up yet, how I did many times in the past and be mad at myself. I'm just gonna watch, and if there's a trade, it's a trade, but I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to stream. I want to kind of play. To be honest, I've been playing this game. How's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's a really nice game. I actually love it. And now I just want to play. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm human. I do play sometimes, Just want to play a bit until maybe the sellers get hit or something, price does something, and then yeah, we're just gonna come back for New York if we have certain opportunities. But goddamn UK garbage price action. What it is, what it is. Ooh, gold actually finished the retracement, but again, I'm not sure about this displacement though. This would be a displacement I would not take because it's really likely to come back into those levels. Yeah, we're just waiting. We did miss a good entries, but look at the positive part always. What was the positive part? I had a clear read on price, what's gonna happen, and it ended up happening. I had a clear read where I should take my entry, and he got fucking sniped. He got fucking, yeah, sniped, basically hunted. My entry got hunted, and also this prediction here was really good. This prediction with also I had really clear read on price, and it's a very high chance I had a good read on that, and good read on price that this entry was a bit chasing price, and most likely we're gonna still come back above the highs. So yeah, and most likely we're still gonna get that retracement. That's what it looks like for me. When it looks like for me, when something looks like something that I have a read on, it usually most of the times happens. So that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna come back in New York, or maybe I'm gonna come back if I'm gonna enter this trade.